So I was out here last week shooting this Kel Tec KSG, and I was using the Estate double-aught buckshot, and it worked pretty well, but occasionally I was having some rough action. And what was happening is, this isn't Estate, this is Remington, but at the brass there, at the high wall portion of it, I don't know what you call it, but it was occasionally catching on the underside of the chamber in this thing and peeling back. Now on the Estate cartridge, it may be a slightly thinner metal there, but the metal is not as tied up against the hole, and so I think that may have been why I was catching it. May not be the KSG, but of course Kel Tec guns are notorious for having some issues until you correct them. So I'm going to put some rounds through this. This is double-aught, so probably not on camera. I mean, if you've just got a t-shirt on today, and this thing definitely kicks with double-aught buckshot. Also, this is a Cheapy flashlight holder from Amazon.com. Attaches to the rail. I'm kind of curious to see if it'll stay in place when I'm shooting this thing. I have this Vortex optic on it. I don't know what it's called. The Spitfire. Maybe I can put down the bore. I don't know. It has what's called an etched optic. And so you can turn the light on for red or green or just black, and here it works fine with black. Also, it's a nice reticle. I don't know if you can see that or not, because I can't really see in the viewfinder whether it's there, if you can see the ring or not. When you turn the light on at night in a dark place, then you can see the reticle just fine too. So even if your batteries died on this, if you were using the light. But I don't know if this light is quick detach. I don't know if it'll stay on or not. It's really cheap. Now I'm gonna shoot a few shots and get back to you. I can tell you with this, at these ranges, of course, which are probably anywhere from 12 to 25, depending on how high up the hill I shoot, 25 yards. You know, and that's realistically the distances that I would be shooting this thing. So anyhow, turn the camera off, put my hearing on, and give it a go. Glasses off. I definitely anticipated the recoil of that one. You say you won't notice a recoil if you're actually using it, but when you're practicing, you definitely realize it. Oh, that one really hurt. Felt like one of the rounds was hanging slightly in the chamber, but not like with the Estate 12 gauge. And the metal appears to stay after it's fired closer to the plastic as well, the hole. Pretty awesome shotgun. So far, I mean, I've only had, I'll probably by the end of the day have probably 150 rounds through it is all. But that's not 8-shot, that's double-aught, and double-aught hat plate. You watch some of the videos when they're cranking them out, they're not shooting double-aught. And if they are, they're not wearing a t-shirt. They're wearing something else too. anyhow, KSG. We'll see if the Remington buffer double-aught, what is this, 2 3/4 shot. We'll see if that with 9 pellets. We'll see if any of those hold up and are doing the same thing, or if it's just the estate ammo in this particular gun. So when I had a failure on my right magazine, you can see the follower hasn't came back. And so that could be a failure of the Kel Tec. You know, something failed inside of that tube, and so I got to get into that magazine and clear it. But it also means that this this gun is in a very unsafe condition right now, and that's because I do recall that one of these cartridges, one of these shot shells, was leaking buffer. I opened a box and there's a fair amount of buffer in the box. I didn't really pay attention to it, but I did think I found the one that was shaking. I loaded it first in the tube, and so now the tube stopped working coincidentally after like 1 or 2 rounds out of that magazine, and so we have the potential that the follower is stuck in the magazine on the right, but we also have the potential that there's a cartridge stuck way up in there that jammed. We just don't know until we can see the white follower just on the other, just like on the opposite side. We just don't know. And I do recall as a kid that every so often someone would kill themselves because they'd have a 30-30 that was empty. They'd cycled it several times. Well, one of the times when they cycled it, cartridge that was actually stuck in the tube would chamber and fire. I'm sure that's happened with shotguns too. So we'll see. The buffer in this seems to be like a really fine powder. So I mean, if the buffer actually caused the follower to jam in the magazine, I would say that that's maybe too tight of a tolerance, and you need to watch out for that. But chances are, just as good of a chance that something mechanical happened, I don't know. But in either case, and it could be that I got some dirt in there or something too. It's out in the woods. My mount here, my cheap Amazon mount, is slightly loose. So I'll probably have to go to Loctite on some of the screws, figure out what loosened up, and use Loctite on it. And take it out again and see what happens. But it seems strong enough built where it should be able to hold up for the light duty that I have in store for it. Okay, disassembled the Kel Tec, and I did find that one of the tubes, or actually both the magazines, were pretty dirty with what looked like unburnt powder. So with the estate giving us issues, we can see I had about 20 out of the 75 or so that I had fired through this on a previous occasion. About 22 or 23 were catching like that. The worst case was a little worse than this. I lost the worst case, but that one, it stripped back the metal quite a ways. The metal actually is similar thickness between the two, within 1/1000th of an inch. The metal is the metal skirt going on the hole is tighter up against the Remington than it is on the estate. And so on my KSG shotgun, the estate isn't terribly reliable, but the issue that I had back here had to do with unburnt powder, which could have been from estate cartridges or the Remington. I'm not sure. I guess it just means it's something you need to watch for and keep clean, or it could jam. It looked to me like if I had, because I used a cleaning rod and it immediately popped back into position, it looked to me like had I tried to reload it again with shotgun shells to fill up that right hand magazine, it looked to me like it probably would have continued to function as normal. So, but it is something to be aware of, that these tubes can collect and get jammed with relatively minor use, under 150 rounds, I think. The light up front was moving was moving forward when I was firing it. So use Loctite and tighten them down a little better. The mount itself seems to be holding okay though to the gun. No issues with this optic, which the optic, by the way, is much clearer than what the video shot showing the optic in field would imply. The etched surface is very sharp and very pronounced in your sight picture. I still think that the estate ammo for this particular shotgun is good practice ammo, just because it teaches you how to work with your gun when it fails. Whereas the Remington function flawlessly. I also use both of these cartridge types in my 870 Remington, and they function flawlessly in that, no issues of any kind with the ammo. So, and that case would not catch on the estate. So the estate is a good bargain ammo. I happened to get these on sale recently. Cabela's had a sale, and Remington had a big rebate on these guys. Why there's no barcode down there. I hope the envelope doesn't get lost in the mail, since it's a $200 rebate. I got a couple of cases of these. So, anyhow, thanks for watching.